platform.
Hi, my name is Alex Maguma, Agriculture Extension Officer, Rhinocam Sub-County, Arua District. I'm going to present on issues of barriers that our smallholder agriculture farms are facing in adopting smart agriculture irrigation systems. I have worked with farmers for over 4 years with over 4,000 smallholder farmers. Next. These are the key barriers that I have identified with our smallholder farmers in Rhinocam here. As earlier on, I said there's land tenure and the rights system, which is affecting our smallholder farmers. Next. This is legality of land ownership and land use. Here in Uganda, we have insecure customary land tenure system. This is where land is either owned communally or it is private access, or it is owned by state, or it is owned by community. So it's very hard for smallholder farmers to have a direct choice on what to do in a particular field of land, or else on what to plant in such a land. So there's also unequal access to land. This is tailored to women. This is attributed to sociocultural norms that women do not own land. So it's very hitting here in Uganda, and this makes it hard for our smallholder farmers to utilize these smart technologies. There's also lack of mechanism to formalize and transfer lands. You know, as youths, as women, you know, these lands are mainly owned by their parents. It's hard for them to actually have a right on it. So it makes it hard for them to practice agricultural production using our newly developed technologies. There's also land fragmentation. These lands are divided into smaller plots, which makes it harder for transfer of these technologies because these small lands do not really have a bigger impact in food production and household income generation. These lands are also threatened by erosion and soil fertility loss. Next, please. The second issue is access to finance. Our smallholder farmers have issues with finance access where they have no direct linkage to microfinance institutions. Also, these banks that offer loans have high interest charged. So it's hard for these smallholder farmers to access finances to do agriculture on commercial basis or doing agriculture as a business. Next, please. There's also mixed performance records of savings and cooperatives. Mainly, most of our farmers operate in subsistence level. So what they earn from agriculture proceeds may not properly be saved. So it makes it hard for them to do agriculture financing. Next, please. There's an issue to do with market, output markets access. Basically, agriculture proceeds in a Rhinocam here have been hit by market issues. Farmers producing a lot, but at the end of the day, you may find the prices may also come down and there's no proper market that they can take their produce to. So they end up consuming most of their produce at local level. Next. This market access is also attributed or linked with local level value addition technologies. You know, here value addition issues have not been serious because these farmers tend to have a perspective that these technologies are so expensive to get in the market, and it is quite difficult for them to do this. So there's also low usage of high quality farm inputs such as seeds, fertilizers, and irrigation. Our farmers are hit, actually they are grounded into their traditional system of saving seeds at their households. There's low utilization of fertilizer and irrigation systems that are being practiced in Rhino Camp here. Next. Of course, the last issue is our traditional rain-fed irrigation. Most of our smallholder farmers are linked to these rain-fed irrigation systems. You know, previously we used to have 2 seasons, dry season and wet season, where we could receive rains early April to June, and then from August to November. But you know, climate issues are real key, and it is true that climate change has hit this area too. These farmers just cling on this rain-fed agriculture system. Next. There is also unreliable water calendar. This unreliable water calendar is based on key information that our farmers do not get about rainfall patterns in this country. Also, there's limited irrigation practice during dry season in this area because these technologies are said to be expensive, based on the fact that our farmers are low-income earners. There is also inadequate drought and flood warning systems. We have a very powerful meteorological center in Uganda that gives us information about rainfall pattern, but most of these sometimes are really inaccurate because farmers, you may not now advise farmers to rely on such, but most of them are really inaccurate. So this is all what I have for you people. I thank you for listening.